Hi, hello. I was hoping that I could give you the angle of my AC/DC t-shirt. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. And done. Any AC/DC fans here? Hello, hello, hello. Let me just, how do I share this? I think there's ways. Hi, if you show up, say hello, holla. I'm hitting wrong buttons now. Anyway, I think it's gonna be a pretty quick video. This video, I wanted to pop on and talk to you about are you chasing someone else's dream? Are you living someone else's life? And what was the third thing that I said? Oh, are you limiting yourself through someone else's beliefs or fears? I bet you are, on some level, because we've all grown up with families who have, had generations before of lack, limitation, trauma, fear. As we are evolving, as we are growing as individuals, we are expanding beyond what was before us, but we've also taken on a lot of the things that were passed on from those generations. And so, I want to share a little bit about my life example, which was I grew up in a generation where it was, well, first of all, I feel like I've always kind of been a rebel. I've gone along and then I'm like, no, I want to do it my way. And then I go along, branch off to something else. And I'm like, nope, I want to do it my way. And even as I sit here right now, running an online business, I'm doing it my way. And even in the field that I'm doing it, as far as supporting, empathic leaders and sensitive, empathic entrepreneurs and sensitive leaders and bringing their gifts out into the world, I'm doing it my way. And in that is I'm reminding those that I work with and having them remember who they are and what works for them, for their platform, for their experience. What is it? So many people, sensitives and empaths have shut down long ago, these inner beautiful gifts and artistic abilities, whether it be through paint, photography, art, words, crafting together courses and videos and audios to share with the world and have ripple effects and share your healing. And, I even work with some who are, really tuned in and working with people indirectly through healing, through physical modalities of massage and physical therapy and, and moms who have children that they're helping remain expanded and open in the world as they grow. So a little bit about my story is that I grew up in a generation where it was find a relationship, get married, get a house, animals, go on vacations, blah, blah, blah. And I did all of that. I got to a point where, I didn't get married. I was engaged and we were together for 12 years and we had a house and we went on vacations and we did all the things. But I got to that point and I was like, but I'm here. And it's why is it not feeling amazing? I got here, now what? And, in that conditioning, I had to really, there was an inner struggle of, this what people wanted for me and what was really a inner calling for myself. And I looked around and there was really no reason why, I had all the things, but it just wasn't for me at the time. And so I ended that relationship and, it was really a scary leap in the dark and not knowing what was going to happen or if I was really just blasting my life with a big bomb. And it was the thing that opened up my life and path and journey to doing the healing work for myself, and then eventually like aligning with doing work that I wanted to do as well. And so, part of what I want to share today is like some of these choices that you're led to are not going to make sense to your mind. They're not going to make sense to what you think should be happening. They may go against what you were taught. You may not know what the next step is or if it's going to work out. And your heart and soul won't steer you wrong. And so in my work, I was also, as I grew up, I was in this family that was like really important to work and to get into a corporate job so that you can get the pension and be like cared for. And, up into like my early 20s, I was always working these jobs where I would be like working weekends, or, I was in, for like a big chunk of time that until my early 20s, I was in a grocery store and a big corporation. Everywhere I worked, I would always move up. I would be a supervisor. I would be traveling to the different stores and doing trainings. And so I always did well wherever I was. It's the, Capricorn leader in me, and hard worker and multitasker, and, able to manage a lot. And so my family was like, they really wanted like, something more steady, like, because for me to advance in the next level in the grocery store, I actually had to go to a 3 to midnight shift for who knows how many years. And in my early 20s, like, I really didn't want to be like working 3 to midnight. I wanted to be out partying with my friends. And so I found a Monday through Friday corporate job, and I was there for 12 years. And there was a crossroads. It was like almost at the end of that is when my long-term relationship had ended. And when that opened up, I opened up to energy medicine school, Reiki, holistic health coaching and counseling, and then all of the amazing leaders like Deepak Chopra and Michael Beckwith. And I studied with Debbie Ford, and like, this whole field opened up that I had not been aware of until that point. And that there came a point where I was working at my full-time job and I was running a business on nights and weekends, and I was finishing school. And I was following an inner drive. I was following an inner voice. I was following I love how the light like started to come on me as I'm starting to talk about this point about following my inner voice and my inner light, and that knowing, that deep knowing that goes beyond the mind, that deep going that goes beyond the fears, that deep knowing that goes beyond the conditioning and the programming and the shoulds and the have-tos of family, society, friends, and others' expectations. And so here I am today. Like I always knew when I was in those corporate, those like the grocery store job and even the corporate, that I wanted to help. Like I wanted to help people, and I knew it wasn't going to be traditional, because I did look into the paths of psychology and psychiatry. And I just, again, like while that would have put me on a path of helping people, there was something in me that I was always like, I knew that it was wasn't my path to find that way. And here I am, I'm helping people to, unhook, chain, program, uncondition, heal trauma, heal the mind fuckery and programming that just like told you who you should be, and remind you of who you really are, so you can go out and have the ripple effect and have the life that you love and enjoy. And so there was something I wanted to say on that. Oh yeah. So here's the thing, is that it's like a lot of people come to me, they're confused, right? I mean, that's just part of this work of untangling, like if you follow me, hashtag unfuck your mind, this untangling of the conditioning and the programming and the emotional chaos that is in people's fields and beings, because it's like, if you've grown up in a family and they like have these desires and expectations of you, and it's kind of like, conditioned through your whole life, and then you get to a point where you're like wanting to make decisions for yourself, and then you're finding it hard and you're confused, and then this is where it's like this subconscious conditioning of around money, around what you should do with your career, around what relationships should look like, right? Around, what a family should look like, around, how long, timing, oh, you have to date for this long before you can get engaged, before you can get married. It's like, no, like as we're advancing into this life, as you are evolving in your human experience, as you're, like waking up from this foggy illusion of being this in this human experience, and truly understanding, the expansiveness that you are, the superhuman, the way you start to move about life, it comes from this deep inner knowing, the deep connection with yourself. And it's much easier to have that connection when the conditioning, the programming, the patterns, the traumas, the fears and the beliefs are cleared. And so I'll leave you with this question, this pondering for yourself, is it possible at any point that you may have been making choices around your life based on someone else, what someone else wanted? Is it possible that you've been chasing someone else's dream? Side note, I just remembered I also did some of this in coaching. When I first got into coaching, it was like I had all these ideas of what, it should look like or should be. And when I let all that go, it became easier for me to be living my life and allowing what it is that I wanted to experience and how I wanted to show up and how I wanted to have the ripple effect in the world. Okay, so the questions again is like, if at any point that you possibly could have been chasing someone else's dream, or if even now that you're living someone else's life based on someone else's expectations or someone else's standards on what it should look like, or what it should look like, right? Or what it should feel like, or, what kind of house you should be living in, or what kind of car, what your family members even look like, then I want you to understand that it is very possible, like on a subliminal, subconscious level, that you are also carrying and believing others' limitations, others' buried, others' beliefs, others' fears. And so I'm inviting you to like really tune in with yourself and ask, what is it that I really want for my life? Who am I and what do I really want? And like, when take those steps. Some of them are going to be scary. Some of them are going to be disruptive. But you are the one that's in charge of having your experiences. And what I could tell you is, when you're not living your life for you the way that you want to live it, it's going to show up in ways of mental illness, physical illness, disease. Because when you're betraying yourself, your body's going to let you know. Your body is a manifestation of your subconscious mind. So in the work that I do, I am able to, get to the core and understand what is going on in the, inner physical misalignment, right? So if you've got illness, if you've got, emotional disruption, depression, anxiety, illness in your body, aches and pains, the work that I do on an energetic level helps to identify what the core emotional issue is to that, and do the energy work around it to release it and open it up for you to now then step into being the co-creator of your experience from an empowered space. I think that's it. Yeah. And if you are feeling like you're ready to take a leap and you're ready to take a next step and you feel like you've been getting in your own way, or, you're afraid, or that, you want somebody that's, on your side, on your team, to lock arms and be the psychic eyes and, intuitive guide and channel to, take you from where you are now to where you want to be along that journey. It doesn't have to take a long time. It does take your willingness. It does take your um, choice and dedication to doing the work that comes up. And it's not as hard as that. It's not as hard as your mind might tell you it is. The only part of your mind that's going to tell you that it's hard or it's going to stop you is some of this conditioning and programming and trauma and limitations. So if you know deep inside of you that there is more life to be living, more love to be having, more money to be playing with, more time and space for you to be an expression, it's more of your art to be sharing with the world, and your message healing to have a ripple effect on the world, message me. Let's talk. Let's chat. I have a 12-week mentorship called Make Big Magic, and you can find that on makebigmagic.com. And if it feels in resonance with you, apply. Let's chat about it. Yeah, it's 12 weeks of one-on-one private, you and I, and me in your back pocket. I've helped people heal decades plus of migraines and step into their creative power. I've helped identify core physical illnesses that are bringing digestion back into and digestion coming back into alignment. Relationships, romantic relationships changing, deep like trauma healing. But then what's happening at the same time is like opening up the space and energy. Like when you let go of these things that you've been trying to like not I don't know, not feel, they don't heal, and they're also taking up a lot of energy. And when you let that go and go open, your whole world opens up. And yeah, I'm creating some big magic with clients, and they're healing their bodies, they're healing their minds, they're stepping into their power. And from that space, they are the powerful co-creators, creating their life. And I get to celebrate it like all the time. And I get to, I get to be with you as you go into the hard and dark spaces, reclaiming the power, magic, brilliance, genius, and opening up the space for your essence to come through. All right, peace out. I'm gonna go pick some flowers and get some fresh air, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.